Buffalo. It is Monday, September 12th, 2022, here with your live show, live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Of course, we do free picks every day, no excuses. We just keep rolling with our free picks. Of course, our best bets always over at the premium area, and you can use that discount code WIN15, get 15% off all of your purchases. Chris, NFL Week 1, one more game left, but how did Sunday treat you? I did well early and not so good late.
Yeah, I did pretty well. Had a couple of nice underdogs thrown in there, and made some money throughout the afternoon card. It was just Sunday night that got me, the Dallas Cowboys deciding to not show up and play football.
Yeah, I gave out a few tidbits on the show where I didn't necessarily agree with everybody that hit, and then I had a few that just absolutely laid an egg. For me, the big discussion is it wasn't Romanelli and I had this discussion. It wasn't Mitch Trubisky beat me. It was the Steelers defense. And no doubt about it. And my thing on the show had nothing to do with the Steelers defense. It was all about Trubisky, and he was horrible, and so was Trey Lance. Hideous, you could say. Trey Lance lost as one of the biggest favorites on the board. Lost outright by 9 points in that game. He was terrible. Chris, get a chance to take a peek at Soldier Field in the downpour yesterday?
I saw a couple of late images of guys sliding in the water, doing the belly slide into the end zone. But that field was a mess yesterday, and definitely didn't do anybody any favors for sure.
Well, both teams play on the same field, and that's just the way that the game goes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it rains. That's what they say, and it certainly rained in Chicago yesterday. But I'll tell you, Trey Lance was just absolutely hideous, man. He was hideous. They would not even let him throw the ball on 3rd and long. That's how bad he was, because the balls were floating over receivers' heads, and it would just be luck that the Bears didn't intercept them. And the Niners had the lead in that game and looked to be on their way. And Justin Fields showed that he was by far the better quarterback on that field yesterday. And the monsters of the Midway. I lost on the Titans yesterday. I believe you had the Giants in that one. I thought the Titans gift wrapped that thing for the Giants. They had a chance to really put them away. They fumbled the punt. I know that the Giants ended up not scoring on that drive, but kind of swung the game there, the momentum. There was a few big hits that the Giants got on them. And, at the end of the game, or close to the end, Saquon Barkley on a breakaway run, the Titans swat the ball out of his arms from behind, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
That was a very big play. And then, we saw a lot of big injuries yesterday. Dak Prescott gone for quite some time. Cowboys season is over. We have T.J. Watt injured again. Peck looks like a peck. Could be a season ender. And, it's I don't think the Giants. I think that the Giants played decently. I think that the Titans played poorly. Really, I think Tannehill played poorly. I think the play calling on 3rd and 1, calling a jet sweep.
Yeah,
as opposed when you have Derrick Henry, kind of reminds me of the Marshawn Lynch in the Super Bowl when Russell Wilson threw the interception. It was like, what are you doing? What exactly are you thinking? That is what cost them the game. That was the game.
Yep.
Right there.
I was just going to say the exact same thing.
But
that was my first thought. Why are you not? And that's from a guy who had the Giants. I'm sitting there with my hands on my head, like, why are you not passing or handing the ball off to Derrick Henry? But
did you happen to catch halftime at all? Because the first halftime show, the early halftime show, I hit every single game except for the Dolphins. So I lost the Dolphins because they lost the second half, but we won every single other second half. Except when we roofaloed the Falcons Saints. I had the Falcons for the game, but we roofaloed Falcons Saints. But we hit every other halftime. I didn't have a pick on Texans Colts, but Jay had it. So we had that, and then the night game. How refreshing is this? I liked the Cowboys still at halftime, and Jay took the Bucks. He's like, I'm not agreeing with you. I don't care. It was super refreshing. It's like, have your own opinion, understand what you're talking about, and it was just like, I don't have to carry the load anymore. It's just nice for me, and it's kind of like, there's two opinions, and it's like, if they want to say, oh yeah, we had Jay, Mitch sucks or whatever. It's like, it's not a competition. It's certainly, it's not a competition. If we went back to the early games, I think the overall scoreboard would tell you a different story, but he nailed that Sunday night, and that was his team too. So, real good stuff. And I know other people doing halftimes out there these days. We're the original and still the best, and we appreciate everyone that tunes in. There's some crappy stuff on YouTube these days, isn't there? Some real garbage.
Oh yeah.
It's funny that we always try a bunch of different things, and some things work and some things don't. That's why you see different people on these shows and different people come and go at PickDawgz and all that different stuff. But it's we find what works, and we continue to do those things, and then we continue to go. Other people, they just copy everything, right? It's like they're 10 steps behind. They're even using the same people, sometimes that we got rid of. It's like, well, they fired them. It's like, maybe they'll be good here. They're probably still better than anything you got. Good evening, ladies and germs. How that elephant got in my pajamas, I'll never know. Do you know that? Do you know that one?
No.
That's like the oldest joke. Last night I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How he got into my pajamas, I'll never know.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's bad. It's Monday. We don't have that many games to cover, so we got a little bit of time to kill.
We have to use the A material.
College football heading into week 3. Scott Frost is fired. We knew that was going to happen, and it was kind of the writing was on the wall before they ever kicked off on Saturday.
Yeah.
$15 million on the buyout there.
Yeah, they didn't want to wait till October 1st when it would have been cut in half.
Is that really it?
Yeah, it would have been down to $7.5 million October 1st for the buyout. But
that's a what that is a payoff somewhere,
Yeah.
Because you're talking, a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But we've got Monday Night Football. NFL still left. With every week in college football with the upsets and with everything, and there's going to be more and more upsets, every year, because the transfer portal opens it up for for guys that signed with big name programs to go somewhere where they can play. It's guys that signed with big name programs, didn't get a chance to play there, and now they have a chance to go somewhere else and play. So you're going to see these other programs have top-notch guys and, be able to compete. You're going to see a lot more of these upsets. But that's the first Monday Night Football game of the year. And oddly enough, we talked about this, and you didn't say anything. And normally you're way more on top of this than I am. But so the way that it works this year is that the opening Monday Night Football, there's just one game. But next week, two games.
Yeah.
Do we go to 3 games for week 3? Is that how this goes? Soon it's like week 17. It's like there's only 16 games.
One team plays twice.
Yes. One team plays twice. All right. Well, we got the Broncos taking on the Seahawks. Geno Smith is starting for the Seahawks. Chris. I don't know, man. It's like I get the storyline and all that other stuff, but it's still, at the end of the day, it's the Seahawks hosting the Broncos. Seattle, definitely a really one of the tougher buildings in the NFL. And we certainly saw a tough building yesterday in Minnesota, where I say it all the time. That building is just very, very, very tough. Seahawks have any chance here? I mean, any chance with Geno?
It's I think it's slim, but I think I also like the under in this one. I expect this to be just a low scoring game. I expect there to be a lot of struggling from the Seahawks. And I expect this to also be a bit of a sort of a black and blue type of game. A lot of 3 and outs, a lot of play between the 20s, but ultimately I think it comes in under the number. I think it's still at, what's it, around 40.5?
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to see right now. Let me see.
See what it says.
43.5. It went up, so I think it's going in the wrong direction. Yeah, I like the under a lot in this one.
I'm with you on the under, and of course I'll be here at halftime with Jay Briggs. We'll see exactly where we stand. Some of these games where it's kind of like, when it's just these one-off games, it's like, obviously we have to talk about it. Obviously we're going to have premium picks and obviously, all the other pieces to that puzzle. But at the same time, it's like we're forced to do these games, and it's like, I don't even really like this game, because it almost looks too easy. Right? It almost looks too easy.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I'm with you on the under. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of points. I think Russell Wilson, what we've seen from him is that, it always is interesting. He's got the cannon arm, but it never looks pretty, right? He has a really good arm. He's super athletic. He's a great quarterback, Super Bowl champion. He's played in other Super Bowls. But at the same time, it's always this, right, all over the place thing. And that's the way it generally will work.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyways, I'm on the under as well with you, Chris, in this thing. And I'll be on halftime of Monday Night Football. Any props for this thing? Should we look at the props? Go to the betting tools, maybe?
Yeah, let's look at the props.
See if they have anything on the props, because week 1. Players, NFL. Nope. No props. Nothing on the props. All right, I'll have to check in with the tech guys. See what the deal is with the props. Prop shop. Everyone's doing props. All right, we go to Major League Baseball. We got early game. We got the Marlins taking on the Texas-Rangers. Let's see what we got. Marlins-Rangers doubleheader. Yep. Game 1, 1:10 start. Trevor Rogers and Glenn Otto. A little Yerfy for you, Chris?
I mean, I had a feeling that's where you were going to go with this one, so maybe. But
Trevor Rogers actually has looked better, coming back.
Yeah.
Last year he was the number 1, for the Marlins.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I obviously don't think it's going to be like that for the foreseeable future with Sandy sort of taking that next step. But I think I'm going to still lean towards the under here. These are two teams that have had offensive issues for, the better part, at least the Miami Marlins, the better part of the last couple of months, and the Texas Rangers more recently. But I just think this is going to be a low-scoring game. I think Glenn Otto versus Trevor Rogers is a bit of a better pitching matchup than I would have, expected earlier, maybe about a month ago. But give me the under here. I think it's just going to be a low-scoring game. A lot of ground balls, a few double plays thrown in there, and ultimately an under.
Yeah, Al Michaels gone from that Sunday Night Football crew, but Chris Collinsworth, you thought that with the hoarse voice, maybe he would say less. I usually don't watch. No. I usually don't watch these games with sound, but this guy's a jerk. It's like, are you a jerk or just a jerk face? Maybe both. Yes, Chris, you're smarter at football than the rest of us. Thanks for reminding us every time you open your pie hole. How smart did John Lynch look like yesterday as general manager? Whew. Oh boy. Very, very little sympathy for John Lynch, huh?
I don't think you've ever had sympathy for John Lynch. I think it's an annual tradition is that we have a John Lynch bashing party.
Yeah,
at least once.
Trey Lance, you know, Jimmy G sitting there on the sideline laughing.
He's like, I'm getting paid $15 million. I'm good.
Well, the thing is that and what happens when Trey Lance does that again?
Yeah,
which it's going to happen. I mean, he stinks. It's pretty much. I mean, certain quarterbacks you can see, even though they have rough starts or whatever, they kind of, you could see that, like Trevor Lawrence, he had the skills and stuff, but it's like this guy, nah. Nope. Oh, that Patrick Mahomes. Yikes. You think he cares that Tyreek Hill is gone? He certainly didn't act like it.
No, next man up.
Next man up is the Guardians' Connor Pilkington. Yes, I used to have a locker next to him at the country club, Connor Pilkington. Reed Detmer's on the mound for the Angels. Chris, you ever have a martini with Pilkington after playing some croquet over at the club?
After a hot stone massage.
I thought you were going to say something else there, but we're glad that's where you went.
Easy. But no, I'm gonna go with the Guardians here. Pilkington making his return to the rotation. And, Reed Detmers, I'd say, has arguably been one of maybe the number 2 or number 3 in the Angels rotation this season.
But the Guardians, the Angels have had a lot of guys that have pitched like number 2 this season. That's for sure.
Give yourself the drums there. There you go.
It's Monday. I red-eyed at home. I had to fly coach. I'm holding it together the best I can.
This is how he got through the flight. He was writing down all the A material and Z material, just trying to keep stuff on standby.
I'm flying coach. I'm next to like some bodybuilder. It's like I'm on the aisle. This guy's in the middle seat. He's got me because it's got me pushed basically into the middle. Every time someone walks out, they like hit me in the head. Yeah, gotta love coach. It's extra leg room. What about extra everything else room? Pilkington.
Extra man sitting next to you.
Pilkington, you say.
I like the way the Guardians are playing right now. They turned it on against the Minnesota Twins, got some big wins there, and now I think they're going to try to just twist the knife and drive it home a little bit more here. They're catching the Angels off of that series loss against Houston, and I think the Guardians come out and get the job done here. So I'm going to take the Cleveland Guardians in this one.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Like I said, I used to play golf with Pilkington at the club. No, I never did, but
wasn't that the name of the butler?
It's like, and I never slice. Gambling is forbidden at Bushwood, and I never slice. That's what it is. You ever see that, Chris? Caddyshack?
No.
Oh my God. This is you have to watch this.
That's why I'm. Trust me. Whenever you say that, I always make a note of it, and I always follow through. And if I don't, I at least get the. Some of the
best movie lines in the history of movies are all in that movie. It's like gambling is prohibited at Bushwood, and I never slice. And then there's also. And the judge is club champion. And I'm no slouch myself. Chevy Chase. Don't cut yourself short. You're a tremendous slouch.
That I've heard a few times, but now I know the origin of it.
What do you do for fun? I like bullfights on acid. Skinny skiing.
I can never say I've ever partaken in skinny skiing.
Tigers taking on the Astros. Eduardo Rodriguez up against Framber Valdez. I don't think Framber pitched too well last time, right? Four
4 runs,
runs.
2
Yeah,
earned.
he gave up a loss against Texas. Ended a streak of 6 wins in his last 6 decisions prior to that. What do you think? You think Framber bounces back? The return
Yeah, I
of
think so.
Framber.
Yeah, I think so. I think that bad start was just a lot of the fact that the Texas Rangers, it was the third time that they were seeing him in a span of 3.5 weeks, so they were bound to get to him eventually. And um, this for me is just about the fact that the Detroit Tigers still the worst offensive production team in the major leagues this season, and I just expect this to once again have the lack of offense come back to haunt them here. So I'll go with the under between the Astros and Tigers.
Back on that Pilkington, I forgot to mention that the Guardians have beaten the Angels 11 times in a row. But on the other side of this one, the Tigers actually have covered the run line against the Astros like a million times in a row too. But Framber probably on a mission in this one, and I don't know. The Astros are just a wrecking ball right now. Just a wrecking ball. Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. Mike Minor taking the hill. I've seen different pitchers listed, but as far as I know, it's Bryce Wilson. Is that correct or incorrect, Chris?
That's who I've been seeing is Bryce Wilson.
What do you think?
So with Minor and Wilson, I can't believe I'm going to say this. I'm actually going to take the Cincinnati Reds. Mike Minor, he's actually pitched semi-capably in his last 3 starts, which is a far cry from where Minor's numbers have been for much of the year. His last 3 starts, he's allowed a combined 5 runs over 18 and a third innings of work, and I think he's starting to get that. He's starting to get that ERA down, which is into sub 6, which is never something I thought I'd say about Mike Minor. Bryce Wilson, he's not the answer for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's not a pitcher I see staying with their rotation long term. And I just think that the Cincinnati Reds find a way to get another strong start behind Minor, who's saved his best stuff for the end of the season. So give me the Reds in this one.
Pilkington, you say? Pilkington. Frickin' Pilkington. Busted up my parlay. I like the over. I don't care. I know it's Mike Minor. I know he's been pitching well. I know it's Bryce Wilson. I know they're playing in a bandbox. Second best hitters park in baseball. What's the weather in Cincinnati? Man, there's so much rain around the country yesterday. It is blowing out to left. About 10 miles an hour plus. Yeah, I like the over. I also like Pilkington. The Blue Jays are playing against the Rays today. He seems battling it out for the wild card, but I would say that the wild card, the teams in the American League that are going to be in, it has been decided. I think that at this point we could say that it's going to be the Rays, the Jays, and the Mariners. It's just a matter of what order. So, I think it's great that they get to decide this out on the field. Jose Barrios on the mound here for the Jays, and Cooper Criswell getting started. Got a potential Criswell Pilkington parlay here. They're really bringing him out today. They knew it was Monday. They knew I flew the red eye, and they knew I was in coach.
They're trying all the funny business today. They're trying to get you to crack, but
like the things you do to get home in time for your wife's birthday.
Right. I'm going to go with the over here. I think the Blue Jays offense comes to play, and they get to Cooper Criswell, who really doesn't have, much of anything to be excited about. The lone start we saw from him last year, 1 1/3 innings against the San Diego Padres, gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. So if he has any sort of extended start here, the Blue Jays are going to get him to crack. And Jose Barrios, it used to be that at home he was a lot better, but now in his last 2 home starts, he's given up 12 runs over 9 2/3 innings of work. I think the Rays get to him here as well. I look for this game to end up in double digits, so I like the over here.
I like the over as well. And getting a crack at him, we know no one knows crack better than Chris Ruffalo.
I mean, if the shoe fits, wear it.
I've been told I was on crack more than once in the YouTube comments. If I read it in the YouTube comments, it must be true.
Must be true.
Must be
Must
true.
be true.
Must be true. I noticed in you guys all get this, as things continue to grow, but it's like over time, it's like the troll factor gets like exponential, It's just craziness out there. It is nuts. Pilkington. What are you selling today? You got any picks for sale?
Yeah, that I do. I got a $15 pick-off play. I got that.
How much is that?
I carry the one. $15.
Nice.
So I think it's $12.75 if you use the code WIN15. We've hit 13 of the last 16 in the pick-off plays. Hoping to carry it forward into today. Start a new week strong. Also got my Monday night
pick-off.
Pick-off yesterday. I had. Oh boy, I'm trying to remember the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks yesterday. Caught that. Zach Gallen's shutout streak ended, but the winning streak kept going. So caught that yesterday. I also got my Monday night NFL cash cow, and also got a Monday night monster. My Monday 3-pack includes the $15 pickoff play, the NFL Monday nighter, and an extra play for the MLB for $50 at PickDawgz.
Okay, I've got a MLB $15 big play, and then I got a pick a Monday Night Football. All for sale. Be sure to use that code WIN15. Braxton Garrett takes on John Gray, game 2 of the doubleheader in Miami. John Gray was pretty good before he hit the IL. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, he was. And I think that if the Rangers are going to get one on the Marlins here, probably going to be this one. I think John Gray. We've seen some starters come back from the IL and get blown up. I think this is a start where John Gray could come back and have some success against, like we mentioned, the weaker hitting Marlins lineup. Yeah, they're capable of going off. They've picked up their offense a little bit lately, but we all know what this team has been over the last couple of months and hasn't been very, very productive at the plate. So I would lean towards the Texas Rangers in this one with John Gray.
All right. Chris with the minus 139 shades of gray over there. Go with the I'm going to go with the Rangers in this one as well. I like Garrett. I think that's going to be, I like both these. Yeah, I'll go with the Rangers. This is a coin flip, obviously, the way that I'm going back and forth here on it. A little bit of a late pitching assignment, so I didn't get to do all the heavy lifting on it. But this one is one that you really got to dig deep into, Chris, and that's the Mets taking on the Cubs with Chris Bassett against Javier Assad. Now, this was probably a very tough choice for you. What do you think?
Yeah, I racked my brain on this one. I was up losing sleep about it, but I think I'm going to go with the Mets on the run line here. I think I just think Chris Bassett, the better pitcher here. We finally saw Javier Assad get shaken up in his last start. Gave up 4 runs, I believe it was over 5 1/3, and gonna have to see how he bounces back here against a Mets team that is focused on trying to fend off the Braves and try to lock up the NL East. And it's going to be a dogfight down the stretch. We knew it was going to be, but I think the Mets have to take advantage of these softer spots in their schedule down the stretch to make that NL East title a reality. So I'll take the Mets on the run line.
This was one of those games where I just had to go back and I just said let me look at tomorrow where DeGrom takes on Adrian Sampson, dig into that one. It's like maybe if I get somewhere there, I can get somewhere here, but it's the Mets. And I don't care how juicy it is. Throw it in your parlay. Got the Dodgers taking on the Diamondbacks. Merrill Kelly scratched for the Diamondbacks. Move back to DeMar to face off against Kershaw. Ryan Nelson gets the ball here against Tyler Anderson. Rhino, the Rhinester. 1 start, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 7 strikeouts. Give me the D-backs here all day and twice on Monday. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I went towards the Dodgers early on, but yeah, seeing Ryan Nelson, I had to kind of do a double take and just make sure that his start was as good as I had seen from the stat line. But I watched sort of the condensed game of it, and he was throwing some nasty stuff. It's going to be interesting to see how he navigates this Dodger lineup. But I would take the Diamondbacks plus 1.5 here. I think they could probably shock some people. I think a lot of people see Tyler Anderson against Nelson, who's made 1 start, and they'll probably jump all over the Dodgers here. But I would lean towards the Diamondbacks plus 1.5.
Go to our next game. And it is the Giants against the Braves. Alex Cobb against Spencer Strider. It's about as good as it gets here. It's a good one. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I really like the Braves here. This is a bit of a tough schedule spot for I would say for the San Francisco Giants more than Atlanta. At least Atlanta was staying out on the West Coast, coming down from Seattle. But the Giants played that Sunday nighter in Chicago. Now come back home. And Alex Cobb, I do like Alex Cobb and what he's been doing lately. But again, if Alex Cobb didn't have any bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. I think this is just another spot where he's got some bad luck with the Braves coming in with Strider, who can hit 100 with regularity and playing in that pitcher's ballpark at Oracle. I like the Braves in this one. I think they get the job done.
I like the Giants. I'm going to go the other side here. I'm going to go with Cobb. That's where all the value is. The Braves, not so great on this road trip, and the Giants, generally, these are the games that they play well. The tough games is where the Giants play well. It's the easy games that they struggle. I'm going to take the Giants in this one. All right. We've made it. It's short field, but still took us half hour to get here. Chris, give these nice people a parlay and make it a winning parlay. I think they would appreciate that. They deserve it.
I absolutely agree they do. I never come into trying to lose a parlay, but for today, for the parlay, I'll go with the Cleveland Guardians, the over between the Blue Jays and the Rays, and the New York Mets on the run line.
Rangers game 2. New York Metropolitans over Blue Jays, Rays, and the San Francisco Giants. 4-team Monday. This is Mitch for Chris. Thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. And Premium VIP, it's going to be a combo show today. So be sure to tune in for that. I'll be live at halftime with Jay Briggs, and we'll see if we can agree on something. It's like we've gone the opposite direction. It's like last year was like everything I say is like, I really think I should start painting my toenails. Absolutely. Great idea. It's like, this year.
I love it.
This year, it's like, I don't agree with you, man.
I love it. You should do a double coat.
All right. Make it a winning day, everyone. We appreciate each and every one of you.